Let me just go through our agenda today. First of all, we are here to learn more about the Law, Economics and Governance Master's Program. I wrote that it's the place, the setting where policy meets strategy, because as you will see, we are going to cope with different relevant topics from an interdisciplinary perspective, which is the backbone of the program. It will start with me presenting the program, the core features of the program from an academic viewpoint, and then I'll leave the floor to our professionals who are going to basically tell you their own view on an interdisciplinary background like law, economics, and governance, which we call LEGO for brevity's sake, is offering our students. Then Costanza, who is the program tutor, and Kajal, who is another LEGO student, will convey you their own perspective as students in the program. Then we'll have a very appealing session on how to apply to LEGO. So Elena Cavassa, our program coordinator, will tell you about the admission and selection process. And we will leave the final 30 minutes of our time today for a Q&A session, in which you should really feel free to ask your questions, search for clarification of your doubts, and so on and so forth in an interactive and free way. You can also type in your questions, your points in the chat if you prefer, or voice them directly at the final half an hour of the presentation. I would like to start your knowledge about LEGO with a short video that we recorded last year. By the way, Costanza, our program tutor, is the lead actress of the video. Please let me know if you can see it properly. Sorry.
Cannot hear. We can see it, but we cannot hear it.
So yeah, we already had the same problem last time. So let me see. No. Let me go back to. Let me open it directly on YouTube. It could be easier. And subtitles. It would be a pity because we have an appealing music, but we'll see.
Or I could share it if you want.
Can you please? Yeah, maybe it works better. Thank you. So let me. Okay.
Non ha pending neck.
314 euro. En dan is het toch niet.
Thank you, Elena, for sharing the video. Let me go down to. Okay, let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay, now it should be available to you again.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the more I watch our video, actually, the more I like it, and I hope it really raised your interest about our program. It does convey the idea that we are a young, participative, innovative master program. Sorry. Okay, no. Okay, sorry. This day we are recording the video, and a lot of okay, a lot of annoying things are happening. I apologize for it. I would like to tell you about the rationale for launching this program a few years ago. As you have probably noticed, a few of our students in the video mentioned the interdisciplinary nature of this program, and that was really the tenet for designing the program. But this tenet is rooted in real life evidence about the job market and what employers actually look for. I always like mentioning a few data that have been recently made available from reliable sources about what your job will look like in a few years from now. We can start by saying that 85% of the jobs that current students like you or prospective students like you will carry out in 10 years from now do not exist. So we cannot now exactly say what you are going to do in a few years from now. And at the same time, a different yet reliable source tells us that 91% of employers said that what they are actually looking for is not a label attached to a job, but the capacity to think critically, communicate clearly, and solve complex problems. So none of these sources quotes specialization, but rather, I would say, cross-cutting interdisciplinary skills. Even going through the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, which was issued a couple of years ago, in which employers were asked to name the top 10 skills worldwide. If you go from number 1 down to number 10, we begin with analytical thinking and then switch to creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, and agility, and then all farther down, dependability and attention to detail, leadership and social influence. And just at the last and 10th place, we find quality control, which might resonate with our idea of specialization. That is to say that taking different sources together, independent sources actually, none of them tells us that becoming specialized in a given field is what companies and organizations all over the world are looking for. So that was the premise for thinking about our program. I might say, based on the former evidence, that the future needs integrators, not just experts. So employers are seeking professionals who can connect the dots across disciplines, sectors, and perspectives. So universities are no longer places where to specialize. That's why I crossed out the word specialized. We could think as universities of ourselves rather as launch pads for integrating knowledge and challenging assumptions. And so this is your chance to follow this trend through the Law, Economics and Governance program, which, as we all said in different ways, doesn't pursue specialization, but integration and the capability to overcome, address problems by availing ourselves of a variety of perspectives. Going in more detail about the program, it is a program that lasts 2 years, offered in the economics and management field. According to the Italian higher education system, it is labeled as an interclass program, which means that it spans across economic science and legal sciences. And it's designed to connect specifically legal and economic domains. And legal prepares you to navigate complexity, to bridge disciplines and sectors, and to become a leader, which is exactly what what companies around the world are looking for, as we just saw. So you should really apply for legal if you want to go beyond traditional boundaries of specialization. So I might as well have crossed out boundaries on top of specialization and learn in an international interdisciplinary environment. This is an international program taught in English, and they can become the kind of professional that the world really needs. Let me give you a few figures, some numbers about LEGO. LEGO was first started in 2022. We received 306 applications and admitted 137 people. Actually, 43% roughly of them enrolled. If you go down, moving from 2022 to our current underway selection process in 2026, we more than doubled the applications that we have received. We just gathered 948 applications in the first intake, which closed last month in April, and 170 applications were accepted, which tells us that, let's say, 18% approximately of all applications received are successful. This is an important figure that you may want to take into account, even though we don't have a fixed number of places available. Nevertheless, we carefully assess personal preparation and fit with the program, which leads the admission board to, as I just mentioned, accept at least 18-20% of all applications received. If we focus on the 2024-25 academic year, we can see that 52% of first-year students are international students. That really testifies to the strong international nature of our program. Just a brief look at the countries from which our students come from. This is actually a little outdated representation because it refers to a couple of years ago, but and the number of flags that we may add to this image would significantly improve. By now, we can see that we range from the US to Brazil to Ireland, Norway, of course, Italy, Africa, and Middle East, Russia, Uzbekistan, China, India, Japan. So we truly have an international composition in our classes. What are the targets of our program? Basically, companies and law firms worldwide. Even though a few of our students have joined, let's say, the European Commission or the European Central Bank, most of our graduate works for companies as consultants or managers, also professionals in consulting companies, or legal and economic experts in organizations which are primarily internationally oriented. We are embedded in a strong network of partners. I'm always proud of underlying this feature of LIGO, because the list of partners that you find in this slide refers to the partners which helped us design the program when we launched it in 2022. So they are actually partners of our program in a broader sense. What makes LIGO unique is that you enjoy the opportunity of learning from real professionals through case studies, interactive lectures. We bring professionals to the classroom. We also run professional development workshops. Let me cite the two most recent workshops that we organized. There were a couple of them in 2024 and 2025. We will go back to it at the end of my presentation. One this very year on artificial intelligence. On top of that, we organized visits to leading organizations and future workplaces. We went to the European Food Safety Authority in Parma with the first year class on May the 4th. And of course, we also have specifically designed study exchanges through Erasmus and overseas programs, but also with devoted exchanges with a few major international institutions like the University of Marburg, Antwerp, China University of Political Science and Law, Saarland University, and the one that I mentioned as specifically targeting LIGO is the Royal University of Law and Economics in Cambodia. We have a couple of students that are going to leave at the end of this month to spend a semester at the RULE, while we also welcome 2 incoming students from RULE in our second semesters. Now, the maybe more technical part of my presentation addresses the study structure. First of all, we run 2 crash courses that are usually held at the beginning of September. The former is Principles of Law, while the latter is Principle of Economics. We strongly encourage our students to take one or both of these crash courses, since this is a law and economics master program, which requires students to be comfortable with the core tenets of law and economics. So these are really relevant, I would say, worthwhile courses to be taken before starting the academic year. In the first year, you will have core legal modules, an integrated course named Company Law and Financial Transactions, which comprises comparative corporate law and law and practice of financial transactions. This is a core characteristic of the program. We don't deal with law in general, let's say private law, torts law, family law, or whatever. We just cope with commercial law, business law, so a law that is needed by companies. And in addition to this integrated course, you'll have in the first year another compulsory legal module, which is called International Law and Markets. And then you'll have in parallel two economic modules, economic courses actually. You can pick up one out of two integrated course. One is Industry Dynamics and Market Behavior, which is made of market design and behavioral economics and the economics of entrepreneurship modules. So as you can see from the titles of the courses themselves, our economics is an economics addressing companies, not, let's say, international policy making, but really the type of the capability to interpret and economic dynamics that companies need worldwide, or alternatively, another integrated course called Innovation Economics and Policy, which comprises the economics of intellectual property and economic policy opportunities and challenges of artificial intelligence. You will see that artificial intelligence is a central issue in our program, thus keeping us in pace with the current development in both economics and law. And on top of that, a second compulsory course, which is called Law and Economics of Corporate Governance. Still in the first year, you will also develop soft skills, which will be particularly useful to you in an interdisciplinary program and in your future jobs, which is organizational management, which I teach myself, and a more methodological course rooted in statistics. And then you can pick up 9 CTS electives. We offer courses devoted specifically, I would say, almost exclusively to legal students, which are managing legal risks and opportunities, financial statements and corporate valuations. This second course is meant to help students who don't have some accounting competencies in their background to make up for much needed competencies, and Python for Business. Or alternatively, or also in addition to this, you can engage in an internship, and you can find on our website a list of companies that have recently hosted legal students. Let's now move to the second year. In the second year, you will deepen your expertise both in law and economics. So you will have 2 compulsory courses, one in economics, international economics, and the other in the legal field, which is European SMEs law. Once again, the stress is posed on companies. And then you can strengthen your managerial skills for companies through a business administration integrated course, which includes business and corporate strategies, strategy and principles of accounting and finance. Then you can also choose between two alternative integrated courses. The format really focuses on AI and the internet regulation, and it is made of artificial intelligence regulation and internet law and governance modules, while the other concentrates on regulation of innovation, and it includes international and intellectual property rights and regulation of digital markets modules. And then you can pick up one elective out of 5, innovation and sustainability in transport and logistics, law and economics of social insurance, applied economics, international taxation law, agri-food regulation. So one out of these elective courses in the second year. Finally, but it's really worth stressing the importance and the innovativeness of this course, you will have a compulsory dissertation preparation module, which is called dissertation project management, that basically help you set up your thesis as a project. So with all the tools and techniques needed to successfully handle a project. And this academic year, we assigned thesis to students before starting the dissertation project management module in the second semester, to let all of our students already work on developing their thesis idea through this course. So we really intertwined the module with the thesis preparation. Finally, to end my presentation, you can see some of the activities that I just mentioned, the visit to the European Food Safety Authority in EFSA, in Parma, some pictures taken during the work, professional development workshops that we organized, and also on the left you can see a picture taken at the visit to the Port Authority in Civitavecchia. If you wish to know more about our graduates, we now have a consistent number of successful graduates who work for Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Assicurazioni Generali, Dolce Gabbana, CRIF, European Commission, and so on and so forth. I really invite you to visit our What Graduates Say About Us session on our website, which is well and continuously updated. You can see some pictures of our graduate students who have brought their own testimonial to the we call it Hall of Fame of LIGO. But if you go to the session, you can find many more stories about our graduate students, what they are currently doing and why. I would say that that's all on my part. Of course, but we will go back to it at the end of the presentation. These are the references on the different sides: academic side, administrative side, and student side. Me as your program director, Elena Cavassa as your program coordinator, and Costanza as your program tutor. Now I think I'm done with my presentation. I would leave the floor to Monica Romboli and Nicole Santi. I hope they are here with us. Oh, Monica is here.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
And you too. Okay. Thank you. So let me just close the sharing of my screen. I'm really happy to have here with us. Let me go back to our agenda. two professionals whose time is much more valuable than mine. So I'm mostly grateful to both of them for taking some time to be with us today. Where I'm really following Monica and Nicole, your the alphabetical order. So starting with Monica, who is a director at the Studio di Revisori Associati in Italy, and Nicole Santi, senior manager at Deloitte Consulting, who will tell you, I hope, something that is close to what I just said, stressing the relevance of an interdisciplinary background to successfully, effectively live in contemporary organizations. Monica, I will hand it over to you. And then to Nicole, thank you.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you all. Do you all hear us? Me, actually.
Perfectly.
Okay, good. So I'm part of the program along with Maria Rita. We have been working in the last 4 years as part, both me and Fabio Landuzzi. So you basically have two professors for the cost of one. We always go in classroom together. I will tell you why in a short while. Basically, I come from the auditing and finance consulting area, while Fabio comes more from the tax advisory and the extraordinary operations area. We're both part of the same network. So we'll give you a little bit, I will give you a little bit of insight of who we are, what insight we may give you, why we think it's really relevant, the master degree in Lego, the key driver and the key topics you should be considering, and the importance, as Maria Rita was saying, of the multidisciplinary approach through a business case. We are part of the Pierola Penuto Zei group. We are a network. We have basically 5 divisions, each of them covering some areas of the tax and finance consulting environment, let's say. We're happy to provide to the customer a full services 360 degrees on all the financial and tax aspect. We're based in 10 offices in Italy. We are more than 1,000 actually. This slide is a couple of years old. So we're more than 1,000 professionals all over Italy. We also have a couple of offices in abroad. While we are together, I think that both Fabio and I think that since we have some gray hairs, we would like to share the knowledge basically. So what we try to do through our course is really to give you several information or several pieces of financial background so that you can, we consider that you can put them in your backpack for whichever destinations you will go. So independently from your career path, I think that the basics we can give you on the financial accounting is something that could be useful for you, either if you have to open a restaurant or if you have to go and work for big companies or if you have to set up your own company. I think that the key financial drivers are very important for you to know, because they will drive your decisions from the financial perspective also in your future, both personal and professional. So we're here, what insight we may give you. We have thousands of contracts and stakeholders we deal on a daily basis, and we always try to understand which are their business needs. So which are the gap that we can cover both with our assistance or also how to support them in developing their business model. In identifying also potential gap. So thanks to this exchange of information, both among the group, so among us as professionals, but also from professionals to the clients, it's really kind of a both-way communication and understanding that help the client growth, but also help us to better focus on which are their needs. What we can share you over the lessons. So what we try to do in our lessons, which are actually are not so many, but we try to give you some theoretical informations, which are the key financial information, but then try to see how in our day-to-day business or in our professional life, we use these KPIs or this information to take decision. So we try to, what we always try to say is we try to go from the book, so from the desk at the university to the business environment, which is outside, which I think it's very important for any students coming towards the end of your study career. So you're reaching these classes when you're almost ready to go to work. So you have the last 2 years, and then you will be in the work environment. And so we try to see you or to share with you how from the university you go to the world, to the work life. And just to give you an example, this is a typical business case that we will see through in our lessons or that we can share you. In a due diligence process. So the due diligence process is a process that a company will go through when they are intending to buy another company. And it's divided into phases because it tells you, okay, I'm a big corporation, for example, and I want to go to the market and expand my business for several reasons, either to implement a new division, so a new business, or to get stronger, or to start in a new country. So this process, or how to select the target company and now eventually to conclude the acquisitions, will go through different phases. And in these different phases, which are summarized in these slides, you can go through how in the different phases, what is the request of the client and what is actually the skills and the professionals that you need to have in order to support the client into this decision. For example, when you go to scouting, you need to understand the client strategy and which could be the potential target. What you need to have for these are database users, knowledge of the market, and corporate finance advisory. So these are the characteristics that you actually would need in order to support the client during the scouting process. And this will go all through the phases of the process. So then you have to have the evaluation time of the potential target. So once you identified a bucket of companies that could be your target, you go and you evaluate these companies, then you selected the one. And then once the target company is selected, so say, okay, I evaluated 10 companies. Out of these 10 companies, 5 are interested. Out of these 5, the best one is company number 1. Then you go through the financial due diligence, actually all the due diligence process. Then once you have identified and you have performed your due diligence process, you also have to identify the acquisition structure. And then you go through the agreement and the negotiation with the company. So in all these phases, you actually would need multidisciplinary knowledge and also approach. So the importance that we think of this Lego course is that it will really drives you and gives you information from multidisciplinary and actually many different aspects that will help you in viewing the full business case into the different perspective that you may need, or that actually fit more your characteristics. Because once you have gone through the process of learning, then of course your student's life ends and your working life starts. So out of all this knowledge that you had, you probably would be able to understand which are the characteristics and that fits you more, and it will help you also understanding which is your future, what you will actually do in your future. And in all these phases that you will see, actually professionals and the skills that are required are really a lot. So it's really, they cover really a broad variety, both of content, but also of skills. And this is something that it's very important for you to be aware that if we see these business cases, is that the team that normally is involved in this business or in this transaction is really touching 360 degrees all the knowledge. And of course, each person has its own skills and its own professional characteristic and background. how do we see some, this is just to give you some potential career paths after Lego, because I think also if you have to evaluate the course, it could be a good tip for you to know. You really have a lot. Here we picture down the one that we see, of course, from our perspective, because we come from the professional and the audit and tax environment. But there would be, I'm pretty sure that if you talk to the other professors, they will give you other career paths afterwards. What we think it's relevant for us is because we come from the professional. So we are your professors, but we come from the work environment. And what we really try to do is to share as much as possible of our knowledge, because since we're getting older, we think that the knowledge should not be wasted, but should be, let's say, it should be an heritage for the young generations. And this is a slide I always like to see at the end of the currents, because I think what the Lego classes will help you a lot is that you see, you may have dots on your blank piece of paper, and the way you can connect them, it could be unclear, very much unclear, and it may not help you to understand and get the full picture. But we think that with all the knowledge that you will be gaining during the course, you will actually be able to connect the dots properly so that the picture comes more nice on one side and easier to read. And this is, I think, what is really, really crucial and is the plus of this course. I think I'm done, unless somebody has questions.
Thank you so much, Monica, for a great presentation, and also for embodying the fact that we are so proud of, that we bring professional to the class. So we not just study topics, but we hear from professionals like you and Nicole. You, Monica, are a faculty member currently, but Nicole gave a very interesting presentation to my course in March, which was truly appreciated by students. So you are really, as I said, an embodiment of the philosophy underlying our master's program. So Nicole, I'll hand it over to you as senior manager at Deloitte.
To everybody.
Bye, Monica. Thank you so much for
luck.
taking your time.
Thanks to you.
Stay with
Good
us.
luck to everybody.
Bye.
So thank you, Maria Rita, for inviting us. I'm really glad to be here and to support the orientation of the students. As you said, I'm a senior manager in Deloitte Consulting based in Bologna. And the question that I will try to answer here is, why would I choose the master program in legal, and what are the potential career opportunities once a student finishes this master degree, especially in Deloitte? Why would a legal graduate be interesting for us as Deloitte recruiters? So let me start with introducing a little bit of what Deloitte is in Italy. We are basically a galaxy of interconnected service lines. We provide a lot of different services to both private, public companies, a lot of international companies. We provide most of our services in English. So we do have very vertical specialized profiles between our colleagues, but at the same time, we are a network and we leverage on each other. We serve our clients in answering complex challenges and complex questions. So we need to call upon each other and provide multidisciplinary knowledge. So this is where I think this Lego Master program really brings value, because it gives you the opportunity not just to receive some learning, some technical or vertical knowledge, but to become connectors. And this is what the business and our clients really need. So people who can connect the dots, and I'm going to echo what Monica said just a few minutes ago, because the questions that our clients face are not something that they have seen before. They're not repetitive questions. Our clients navigate in complex, changing environment. They have to face different challenges, and as I heard at the beginning of this presentation, the professional opportunities and the jobs that you could be applying in a few years maybe don't even exist today. So my suggestion is really to learn how to acquire new skills and how to look at problems in different ways, different points of view at the same time. So learn flexibility. So this is what we do. We connect the dots, we work with each other, we collaborate constantly. Again, because what we need to do doesn't really fit into neat boxes. Let me make some examples of what you could do and within our network. So for example, in Deloitte, Italy, we provide services to the entire network. And one thing that we are doing now is developing artificial intelligence and trying to understand how the artificial intelligence will shape the professional work of tomorrow. So one thing that we are now struggling with and we are learning how to do is to navigate in AI and digital regulation. So we need to help our clients understand what are the AI regulation that are 100% new and how to navigate the digital market laws. They need to interpret EU and international rules. They need to develop algorithms. They need to win their competition and become more flexible, more responsive in their markets. So this is an example of a job, of a challenge that simply didn't exist a few years ago. Then I work in Deloitte Consulting, and consulting is really advising our clients on how to define their technology, their transformation roadmap, digital roadmap. And we often have to combine this with the overall, the medium to long-term business strategy, which also implies an understanding of the regulatory sides and to look beyond just technology, to look at how processes will evolve, how the organization will evolve. Then, of course, our colleagues in risk advisory, they look at 360 degrees, what are the risks that our clients face in uncertain times. They have to, for example, solve cyber risk or something that arises from the international political situation. For example, tax and consulting, which is something that Monica also mentioned earlier, they do due diligence, they support M&A, we have international tax teams. So for example, when a client thinks about opening a new branch in a different country or even a different continent, there are a series of questions that they have to answer at the same time. So for example, the legal implication, the governance structures, what are the regulatory risks, how do we ensure compliance while also maximizing the value? So all these questions need to be answered simultaneously. So what this path that you are considering to choose could give you is the ability to look at these complex questions from a flexible and multidimensional way. So my advice, and then I could bring more examples, but my advice is choose a path that gives you an ability to look at problems in several different ways, because we do need vertical specialists, but we need more and more connectors. We talk about sometimes the T-shaped career. So T-shaped means that you have at least one vertical direction, one thing that you're an expert on, but then you also have a breadth of knowledge, the ability to speak multiple languages, both metaphorically and non, and to collaborate with different professional backgrounds. So if you have any questions, I'm here, I'm available to answer them. Of course, this program did not exist when I was a student. I would have been interested in choosing it, but you have a lot of opportunities today. And one thing that we're kind of taking for granted right now, but do invest a lot of time in becoming professional and with English, because this is also going to open a lot of new possibilities and career opportunities in the future. So good investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you indeed. I know you are terribly busy, so I would just like to spend a few words in thanking you first and foremost, and maybe going back to a couple of issues that you mentioned. Regarding legal, I would say that in the T career, the leg of the T would be law and economics, which are the basics of our program. I'm glad that you also cited artificial intelligence. Our study diagram offers students development of knowledge in AI, both in the first and in the second year, and both from a legal and an economic perspective. And I would like finally to say that I had the pleasure of meeting Nicole a few years ago. I wouldn't say many years ago, but a few years ago at the School of Engineering, where she studied engineering management. And she was a brilliant student, and she's having a brilliant career. I had no doubt about it when I met her. And finally, I would like to stress that a colleague of Nicole at Deloitte actually sits on a legal advisory board, and we meet every year to discuss how legal is going, how it can be improved, what lies ahead. So I would say that Deloitte is a major part and partner of our program. Nicole, thank you indeed once again, and I hope to see you soon in class with our students. Bye-bye, Nicole. Thank you. Now it's time to hear from our major stakeholders, who are our students. So how studying at LIGO is like in their perspective. So I would hand it over to Costanza and Kajal.
Okay, I can go first.
Okay.
So,
Please
hi
go.
everyone. I'm Costanza. As Professor Tagliaventi already said, I'm also the tutor, so you may have been already in contact with me. But today I'm here to bring my experience as a student, because a few years ago I was in your same position, so trying to understand which master program could really fit with my interest and future goal. So I want to share with you some insight, and I hope that they can be helpful in your choice. So what immediately attracted me about LIGO is the interdisciplinary nature, as we already stressed through the whole presentation. And I still think it's one of the greatest strengths of the program, because you study both law and economics, and this gives you a broader better understanding of the problems and institution, and you will also know how regulation work, but also how organization, market, and the governance system work. So this is very helpful. And as soon as you will start working on case studies and project, you will realize how helpful this is and how helpful it will be to approach a challenge from a different perspective. And connected to this, what I really appreciated is the fact that the program is not only theoretical, but it's very practical, because many courses combine a final examination with group project or presentation or research. And this is very helpful for your learning experience, because you just don't study concept, but you apply them, you discuss them with other peers, and you work on them. And also through this project, you can develop some skills which will be essential academically and professionally, such as communication, team working, and problem solving. So these group projects are essential and give you a lot and will be very helpful for your future career. And I think that what is also very interesting is the environment you work in, especially within this group project, because LIGO is extremely international and multidisciplinary. So students do not only come from the very different countries, but also from the very different academic background. And so they approach problems from different perspectives, and you will never stop learning, because when you do group project, you will see different approaches from different students. And this is a huge opportunity to learn different perspectives and share insights with others. And personally, I think this is one of the aspects that contributed the most to my personal and academic growth. Moreover, I can say that the structure of the program itself helps a lot from a student perspective, because the academic year is divided into 4 teaching periods, so you can focus on fewer subjects at a time, and this is crucial in organizing your student life and also the workload, which is more manageable, and this allows you to stay organized more easily. So this is very helpful. And at the same time, the program is continuously evolving, and courses are implemented and changed basically every year. And also it's given a lot of space to student perspective. So for example, in October, we organized a focus group with some students to exchange perspective on what could be implemented within the degree program. And most of the insights that came out of this focus group were effectively implemented. So yeah, this is crucial. And also I think that the attention to the students can be visible in all the opportunities that the program offers beyond the traditional lectures. So for example, the seminars, the workshop, the visits that are offered and that you can find on our website, which is constantly updated. So I invite you to check the website to have a clearer understanding of all the opportunities that the course is offering. And for example, we recently had 2 seminars which were held by HR professionals and recruiters, and they were about CV building, LinkedIn recruitment process, and career strategy. And I think this is very helpful because it also gives you a perspective from the other side of the selection process. And this helps the student to practice and understand what he really need to focus on when applying to opportunities. So yeah, I think all these opportunities that are offered are very helpful. And another thing that is truly appreciated is the relationship with professor, because they are very open to many questions. They try to encourage discussion through lecture, and they are willing to help students and encourage participation. And moreover, there are many courses which are held by professional and industry expert, and this gives a direct exposure to the current challenges and the professional practices. So this is very helpful as well. So beyond academics, there are many opportunities offered by the program, such as Erasmus overseas or seminars, as I was anticipating, and there are also seminars that allows you to gain a certificate of attendance, which is very valuable on the CV once you start applying on the job and searching for a job. So again, I really recommend checking the website. So yeah, that's basically it from my experience. I think that Lego can offer you with the tools to succeed both in the private and in the public sector, and there are many opportunities that are offered to you, but it's ultimately up to you to take all of these and build your own path. And yeah, I hope that this can be helpful for you, and I wish you all good luck with your future academic journey. And I will type down in the chat my address, so if you need any clarification or anything, you can reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Costanza. You do yield your passion and enthusiasm for the program, which is the best commercial for our program. I would like now to hear from Kajal about study experience at LEGO. Hi, Kajal.
Very good afternoon to everybody, and thank you so much for letting me have this opportunity. Costanza, I can relate to you 100%. Whatever you mentioned when it comes to academic, when it comes to the practical knowledge about the outer world that Lego provides, it's 100% immaculate. Like the course just hit the head right on the nail, as it take all the box very perfectly as a student would require when they step outside of their college after passing. Me being an international student, I would like to share a small recap of my journey, because coming to a different country with different culture, with different academic structure was altogether a little overwhelming for me, because everything was so different. There were certain times where I would feel very anxious and not so confident, like, should I say, should I not? But the professors did a wonderful job. They were so friendly and approachable. Like, they all made me feel so welcome. So it just went so smoothly. I did not understand the transition from my country to another country. And at the same time, the consideration of all the professors, knowing that not all children are from the same academic background, they really kept that thing in their mind, and they took the learning process at a certain pace where everybody is on the same page and nobody is left out. So that is something I really, really appreciate. Again, a very small detail, but something that I really found amazing. Not only that, the course is constantly evolving with questionnaires, and they ask for your constant feedbacks, and there are active participation to correct whatever, if there is a slight bug, immediately fixed. So as a student, it is most valuable, because at that point you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel important. Like, if there is something that bothers you, you can just go and talk and it will be fixed. So as an international student, it was such a relief. And Lego also provides with diversification of students, when you can actually interact with them and polish your soft skills, as in communication skill. Because if I take an example of mine, I am a little introvert. I take time to open up. But again, this platform is not just restricted to mere course, but it opens up the door to so many opportunities, as very rightfully said before, Costanza, that it's not just the lectures, it provides opportunity beyond the lectures. And It is amazing that we can get theoretical and as well as the practical knowledge before we actually step into the practical world. So I would take this opportunity to thank you, Professor Maria Rita, and all the professor who has been doing amazing job, again, Costanza, and all the people who are behind the scenes, whom we don't usually see or hear about them, but they are still working to make everything run so smoothly. So thank you so much. And I wish you all the very best. And great to see you guys in Lego course.
Thank you, Kajal. Indeed, I think that you and all of our students are amazing students, so it's easy to be maybe good faculty when we have such outstanding students. So thank you both for voicing your experience. And now it's the time to learn more about the admission process from Elena. I know that this tends to be one of the most relevant sections in our open days. So, Elena, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maria Rita. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you see my presentation? Yes, okay. So, as already mentioned, my presentation will aim to provide you with an overview about the application procedures to LIGO. So the call for applications is available on our website. First important piece of information is that the program is open access with assessment of personal competencies. This means that we don't have a specific number of places available, but that we have an assessment of your personal competencies and of your curricular and language requirements, and all those who reach a specific threshold in this assessment are admitted to the program. So there is no set number of places available, and as you could see from Professor Tagliaventi's presentation, the number of students in the program changed and increased year by year. It's very important to read carefully the call for applications before starting the application procedure. So I invite you to read it before you start preparing the document and preparing the application. So the first requirement that is needed by candidates to LIGO is the curricular requirement. So to be eligible for admission, it is necessary to hold a degree, an undergraduate degree, in one of the areas that are listed here. So law, administration and organization science, economics and business administration, political science and international relations, social sciences for cooperation, development and peace, and statistics. So the codes you see in brackets are relevant only for Italian, so for students holding an Italian qualification. For all other students, so for students who hold a qualification that is not Italian, the admission board will assess the congruence of your degree, of your undergraduate degree with the program. But if you don't hold a degree in one of these areas, there is another opportunities to to still demonstrate the possession of the curricular requirements. So to be and it is to have achieved at least 42 ECTS in some specific disciplinary areas that are listed in the call for application. So if you don't hold a degree in an undergraduate degree in one of the areas that are listed here, I invite you to read carefully the call for applications, where you will find the list of the areas that are considered, and check if you have at least 42 ECTS in those areas. As I mentioned, for candidates who hold a qualification obtained abroad, the admission board will assess the congruence of your education with the program. And you can apply even if you haven't if you haven't obtained your bachelor's degree yet. But you need to obtain it by the end of December 2026. So if you haven't obtained your undergraduate degree yet, you can apply, and if you are admitted, you can enroll, but your enrollment will be conditional. This means that the offices will check whether you will obtain your degree by the end of December 2026. And if you don't get your degree by the 31st of December, your enrollment will be cancelled. So the second requirement is the English language requirement, and English language skills are required to B2 level. And there are many different ways in which you can prove your English language proficiency. First of all, through an international certificate, and the only certificates that are accepted are those that are listed here. So TOEFL, IELTS, Cambridge English Language Assessment, Trinity College London. And the certificate must have been obtained no more than 3 years before the intake deadline. So please check carefully the date of your certificate if you intend to submit it to prove your English language proficiency. So another way is through a B2 level English certification issued by an Italian university language center, obtained no more than 3 years before the intake deadline. Or alternatively, possession of a first or second level degree in English. So the degree, first level or second level degree in English, in this case must have been must be completely fully taught in English to be considered as a proof of possession of the English language requirement. Or another way is having passed a B2 level English language exam during university studies. And what's important here is that the level must be explicitly stated either in the exam title or in the exam program or in a certificate or a declaration issued by the instructor responsible for the activity. So this is very important, because if you passed an English language exam during university studies, but the B2 level is not stated, is not expressed, then the admission board will not consider it as a proof or of possession of the English language requirement. Another way to prove your English language proficiency is being a native speaker status, and you can find a form on our website in the same page where you will find the call for application with the information about this and with the form that need to be submitted. Or finally, there's also the possibility to take an English language test online at Unibo. This is called OOPT, which stands for Oxford Online Placement Test. So you need to, if you take this test at Unibo, you need to achieve an overall score of at least B2 level, and you will find more information about this on the same page where the call for applications is available. Well, if you hold both the curricular requirements that we've seen before and the language requirements, then the admission board will assess your personal competencies, and the evaluation, so the assessment of the personal competencies is made up of 3 parts. The first part is related to the academic merit. The second part is related to the congruence of your academic curriculum to the educational objectives of the degree program. And the third part is the curriculum. As for the calendar, we have 3 intakes. The first one, as you can see here, closed in April. So we have now 2 intakes left. So the second intake is open to both EU and non-EU students. And it will close on the 18th of June. Whereas the third intake is only open to EU students, and it will open on the 19th of August and will close on the 3rd of September. The third intake is only open to European students or European assimilated students, because non-European students wouldn't have time to apply for visa within this time frame. So the last opportunity for non-EU students to apply is the second intake, closing on the 18th of June. So how to apply? As I said before, please read carefully the call for applications before starting the online procedure, and then you can apply on studenti.unibo.it and upload the required documents. The compulsory documents are the transcript or transcript and degree certificate, then the CV, and this is very important. You will find on our website a CV form that is available. So we strongly encourage you to use that CV form so that it also makes it easier for the admission board to find the relevant information that are needed for the assessment of your application. So this might be convenient also for you to get more chances to have a better evaluation, because this if you fill in the form very carefully, then this will, as I said, provide the board with all the relevant information needed for the assessment. And also you need to upload a copy of a valid ID document, so ID card or passport, and the B2 English certificate or equivalent among the documents that I've told you about before in the English language requirement part. You can also upload optional documents, a copy of a valid residence permit if already held, and a reference letter, maximum 1, which will not be subject to evaluation. So here you will find our contact details. So you can write to us an email, and also, if needed, we could arrange a call on Teams. If you have any doubts or questions, feel free to get in touch with us. So I will.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We are going to stop the recording session right now.
I've just stopped the recording.
Great. Thank you. Maybe, Elena, we might say when enrollment begins, the enrollment date.
Yeah, the enrollment begin on the 22nd of July.
July, 22nd of July. Okay.